So this is a little bit of an impromptu video because I wasn't going to film it, but here we are. Today I'm going to be talking about PIP and my PIP assessment and the results so far. So PIP is a benefit system. It stands for Personal Independent Payment, and it's a benefit system for people who have disabilities, just to give them a little bit extra every month. I was on DLA, Disability Living Allowance, for a long time, and then I think in April they sent me out a letter saying, we're going to move you over to PIP. And I've heard a lot of horror stories about PIP, so I was a little bit apprehensive. Basically you have to phone them up and tell them that yes, you still want to claim PIP, and then they send you out a form about how your disability affects you. This form you have to basically fill in, which is quite a big toll on itself, because you have to highlight all of the difficulties and all of the struggles that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, and just, you know, writing that all down, and it's just like the reality of it hitting you, and it's not a nice process, but it's also quite a difficult process because some of the questions you're like, no, that doesn't apply in that way, but when I'm not well, or when I'm on IVs, or I have a chest infection or whatever, then it becomes really hard, and this is the things I can't do, blah 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 blah. So you have to really be quite hard about it. It's not a nice process. So then you send that off, then they get back to you and say, we received it and you're gonna go for an assessment. We'll let you know when. I don't hear anything for over a month. And then I get a text message on a Tuesday to say, just a reminder that your PIP assessment is on Friday at this time at this place. And I'm like, hold your horses there. What? They gave me 3 days to prepare for an assessment, and I couldn't actually do it on that Friday. So, and they didn't even send me out a letter or anything. So I phoned them up, managed to rearrange it. On the day of my assessment, I wasn't feeling great. I was not feeling 100% at all. Like, I was struggling to do things, and my muscles and my joints were like really aching. Things like, you know, winding up the windows on my car. I have an old car. I don't have a flashy new one with electric windows. Anyway, it was taking me longer than usual, and things like when I was making a sandwich, I was squeezing the mayo out of a bottle, and I was finding that really difficult to do. Like, I just didn't have the energy, and I was like, actually this, you know, I should mention this during the assessment. So I get there and I go in to see a lady who I think was a nurse for Parkinson's. She basically ran through all the stuff that we were going to talk about and how the assessment was going to go. It was pretty much her just reading off of a computer screen all of the stuff that was written in that form that I had to fill out. She just went through that and then typed up her own notes. I was so nervous, by the way. I was very nervous. I was a lot quieter than usual, and I think this is where it becomes a problem, because I realised about 5 minutes into this that actually I'm not good at talking about my condition in depth and like my mental health in depth to a complete stranger. I just couldn't talk to her. I just couldn't open up to her about it, and it was so frustrating because like she'd ask a question, I'd be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then in my brain it'd be like, oh, it'd be good if you said that, it'd be good if you said that, say that, say that, say that. My brain was saying all these things, but it just wasn't translating out of my mouth. So I was quite quiet throughout the whole thing. I came out of there feeling awful because obviously I struggled to open up to her about the condition, about CF and all that jazz, and I just knew that I hadn't done well. And when she was going through the questions as well, she would sort of lead the way. So say she was asking about, you know, managing my treatments. Oh, I see you use a Dosset box and your boyfriend fills your Dosset box every week. Is that just to give him something to do? Or like she kind of like lead it on, and there were a few like trickies, like she tried to trip me up a couple of times, very subtly, I might add. If you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't notice it, so you got to be careful with these things. Editing Kate here. I just wanted to quickly mention that she also asked me, so do you think that your CF is getting better as you get older? And she kind of said it in a light-hearted tone and kind of nodded along as if to think that I was going to agree with that. And I was just like, what? You do know that CF is a progressive condition, right? You wally. Anyway, carry on. So, about a month later, yesterday I got the letter back from my assessment. Oh no, they sent me a letter maybe a week ago saying, we have received your assessment notes and we will get back to you. And I'm like, what a waste of paper. Why'd you send that out for? It's such a waste of... Anyway, save the trees, Kate. Recycle. I did. Never mind. I'm off track. What am I saying? That's right, letter. I got the letter yesterday and oh my god. I can't tell you how upset I got yesterday reading that letter, and they put a little report at the end. And I got very upset and then I got very angry. This is the letter here. I'll just read it out for you. So, basically said, I can't award you PIP for help with your daily living needs, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so there's a scoring system. I think it's out of 100. And basically you just need 8 points to be awarded the standard rate. Overall, out of 100, I got exactly and precisely 0 points. And then there's like a little report at the end saying, I made my decision using information about your health condition, which is cystic fibrosis, if I haven't already said. I probably haven't, have I? What? Or disability, including details of any treatment, medication, test results and symptoms. This information is the best available and enough to decide how much help you need. A mental state examination showed you coped well with no signs of anxiety or agitation, and you had adequate rapport and eye contact. So let me just break this down a second. I had no signs of anxiety apparently when I went in there. That's why I was really quiet and I hardly spoke. So yeah, I definitely didn't have signs of anxiety. I went in there as confident as a rainbow. Doesn't even make sense. Anyway, and I had good eye contact. So, okay, because I had good eye contact, that obviously means that I'm on top form. I digress. There's more. You had insight into your medication and conditions, you were alert, orientated, answered all questions without prompting. She prompted me on every single flipping question. Reading this, it feels like they've just copied and pasted a template letter and then added little bits in that apply to me. That's how I feel. And if you've had a letter like this, please let me know if this is similar to yours. Anyway, observation showed you stood from a chair unaided and you were not in pain, discomfort, nor were you breathless during the examination, and you attended alone and engaged well. At this point, I'm thinking, are they talking about me? Are you sure they haven't got mixed up with someone else? Are you talking about me? So, yeah, don't get me wrong, I stood up from a chair unaided and I was not in pain or discomfort. I was, and I even told her that my muscles and my joints were aching today and my legs, and I said to her that. Anyway, and you attended alone and engaged well. So I've heard from a couple of people that if you go on your own, then it's perceived as, you're capable of your condition, managing your condition. So if you go on your own, you're fine. If you go with someone, then whoa, hold the phone. You need help. And the bit where they say that you engaged well, I did not engage well at all. Like I said, I found it hard to open up to her. This is fun, this bit here. You manage your blood sugars and you can give yourself IV antibiotics, and you have no current input for your mental health. So what they're saying here is that because I'm not currently seeing a counsellor, and I haven't done for a year, and I'm not on any medication for any mental health issues, that, you know, I think you're fine. You're fine. It means you don't have mental health issues, Kate. Because they're saying that you're not getting any help for it. So, of course, there's not. And that was the thing that made me really angry. Because it feels like it's either black or white with these people. There's no in between. There's no grey. There's just black or white. And with my condition, with CF, I experience good days and I experience bad days. You know, sometimes I'm okay, I'm functioning, sometimes I'm really not. But this is the thing, I can't remember the last time when I wasn't in some kind of pain or discomfort. I can't remember the last time I wasn't. Whether that's joint pain, whether that's muscle, whether my sinuses are hurting, whether I'm wheezy, I'm coughing a lot, whether I'm out, you know, breathless, whether there's so many things, whether it's the mental health, there's always something, because basically it's them saying that you're not suffering enough for us to give you any benefits. And that is not only patronising, but it's demoralising, it's despicable, and it's just freaking unacceptable. It's a really, really crap system. People who have a chronic condition and a progressive condition like cystic fibrosis, we shouldn't have to go through this shit. We should not have to go through this. We go through a lot every single day, and to add this kind of disgusting material that we have to face that causes so much stress and anxiety, it's ridiculous. And I think PIP was set up to sort of sift out all the people who are leeching off the government for benefits. I think that's why it was set up. But for someone with a chronic illness, like myself, like many others out there with CF, it's just not fair. It's really not fair. And to be awarded 0 points is insane. Because I know it's not just me who's got 0 score, and there's a lot of other people out there who's got 0 on their PIP assessment with real serious conditions. The next step is a mandatory reconsideration. And then after that, you go to a tribunal. You can appeal to a tribunal. It's made me feel really rubbish about myself, because it's like I said, it feels like they're just saying, you're not suffering enough for us to give you any help. And that's really heartbreaking. I don't want to cry. I'm not wearing waterproof mascara. That's stupid, isn't it? And it don't make me feel any good, any better about myself. Oh, I can't tell you how upset and angry it's made me. Whew. Anyway, yeah, if you agree that this is a really stupid, messed up system, then give it a thumbs up, like it if you like, share it to anyone who might be interested, subscribe if you wanna, you don't have to, but it would be cool if you did. I will see you in the next one.